What's going on, guys? Zach here. A little Q&A time, and I wanted to answer this question coming in from a young strength coach. His name is Alex, and those of you guys that are trying to get questions to me, best thing to do is post them on the blog. Anytime I blog, especially a recent blog, drop a question or comment, and I will thoroughly answer like this, one-to-one video. Question is, I know you work with a lot of younger athletes, high school athletes. How do you maintain your patience when they're either chatting or screwing around, or when they are physically immobile / technique flaws, not referring to the being of physically weak? Well, poor technique is usually stems from weakness. For example, the athlete's back keeps rounding, the knees keep caving in, etc. I understand how to help them progress when they have technique flaws, but it can be pretty hard as a young college student teaching both the young kids and the adults to not get frustrated. What's your biggest tip for keeping your composure when a client butchers an exercise even after you coach them? I'm aware of the fact that I am no guru in coaching, but I've got a basic understanding of how to coach the technical components of exercises. I never yell, but I get frustrated inside. So I responded to Alex through an email, but this is super important for you guys. You see, this is pretty similar to what might be happening in a high school weight room. Coach Smith is running the strength and conditioning, and he says we're squatting. But I coach Johnny, who can't do a bodyweight squat, but he gets to Coach Smith, and he's doing a weighted back squat. In fact, he's doing a 1 rep max back squat, but he can't do a bodyweight squat. When you can't do a bodyweight squat, it essentially means you cannot sit on the toilet. You cannot even poop without poor technique. What does poor technique come from? It comes from being weak, and whose fault is that? Partially it's the athlete's fault who's not strong, and I like to put the ownership on myself, extreme ownership. So an athlete who's rounding his or her back, I have to reverse engineer it to get that athlete stronger. Those of you guys that have been to my underground strength coach certification, you know I do the progressions and regressions. I've done this as well on the online program. Technique flaws are not because the kid is a bad kid or a bad listener. It's because as a coach, you did a bad job or you don't have the knowledge to teach them. So Alex, you've got to learn how to teach them. So if somebody's got a round back and knees caving in, their back is too weak, their hips are weak, they don't have enough skill work. For example, I share this story often. When I started coaching at Lehigh, Division I university, top 10 wrestling program, I remember saying, boom, Division I, first day I'm going in, we're gonna do deadlifts. More than half of that team could not do a proper deadlift. These were kids who were already experienced Division I athletes. Many of them were state champs. Many of them were multiple-time all-state wrestlers. These were some of the best of the best. This is a top 10 program in the country. They could not deadlift. So I said, I didn't say these are bad kids. I blamed myself. I said, boom, I broke my cardinal rule. Start everybody with the basics, build them up from there. Before they were ready to deadlift, we needed sleds, carries, ab work, all kinds of rowing, all kinds of body weight pulling, lunges, split squats, back extensions, kettlebell exercises. I had to strengthen all the support muscles. So when somebody's doing something wrong, it means you've given them an exercise that A, they are not ready for, which is the same as saying they're not strong enough, and B, you could not be coaching it properly. So I think the issue here is, I like that you reached out to me, but I think aside from you, Alex, there's a lot of coaches out there who are saying, hey, a squat is a squat, and they don't know the difference between good and great, or even shit and suck. A great deadlift is earned. You have to earn your right to deadlift. You have to earn your right to put a barbell on your back and squat. I train lots of high school kids, you're right, who train in their weight room, and I'm always retraining them how to squat because they need constant coaching. And just because somebody's a high-level athlete does not mean they're a high-level lifter. So Alex, I want you to dig in, undergroundstrengthbook.com. I want you to see the progressions and the regressions. People that are having weak backs, rowing, inverted row, one-arm row, shrugs, pull parts, a lot of ab work, farmer walks, rack walks, a lot of lunges. do all the supplemental work to build up the big lifts. And if you want, we've got a seminar, Underground Strength Coach Certification with Travis Mash, Learn to Lift, June 9th, June 10th, coming to New Jersey. Bang, bang. Guys, the process never ends. We're constantly learning, and I'm giving props to Alex for being humble enough to reach out to me and say, how do I make this better? That's it, guys. Good enough is the death of greatness. I'm Zach. Hit the links below. A lot of free resources. Like the video, subscribe, share it with people who need to hear this message. Peace.